I just got a sneak peek. Did you see that? Wow, that was the first time I just tried the apple jelly. That's fantastic. Whoa, 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 whoa. Pie crust and I, we are not friends, you guys. Oh no. Oh gosh. Like what? Are you kidding me? Look at that. That is so fantastic. Hi, welcome back. I'm Carrie. This is Keep It Simple DIY. I have an exciting video for you today. Right now I'm making a pizza crust because I'm going to be making hand pies, but not only that, I have a few experiments that I want to try. So this will be quite interesting if they work or not. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going to just let some yeast proof and I'm going to tell you all about what's going on. So I'm making 3 different types of hand pies and I have a special guest who will be appearing, so stay tuned for that. So the first hand pie I'm going to be making is just a pepperoni pizza hand pie. It's like a calzone, but a mini one. My goal is that I can freeze them before baking them and then cook them in the air fryer from frozen. I've made hand pies a ton of times, but I've never frozen them raw. So we'll see how that goes, and usually I just microwave them. So hopefully that turns out, but here's the big one. Here's my experiment. I want to make sausage, egg muffins, like on English muffins, but I don't want to make English muffins, cut them in half, do the standard thing. I want to make it hand pie style. So I want to take English muffin dough, wrap it around all of the ingredients, and like cook it with them encompassed inside. That's my experiment. Stay tuned to see if it works. The third one I'm going to be making is an apple jelly hand pie just with a regular old pie crust, which reminds me I need to take the pie crust out of the freezer. We will let this one thaw while we work on the others. Now I mentioned that this video is a collaboration. It's in collaboration with Sara from Brown Family Goods. She is also going to be making 3 different kinds of hand pies, 2 savory and 1 sweet. So I will let her introduce herself and what she's making.
Hey there, I'm Sara and my channel is Brown Family Goods. Today I am teamed up with Carrie to show you some hand pie recipes. I saw what Carrie made. It looks delicious and I hope you'll come over here and join me for a few recipes too. I'm making brown sugar peach hand pies, breakfast hand pies, and chicken cordon bleu hand pies. So if you like that or any of it sounds good, pop on by after you watch this video. I'd love to share that with you. And the other things that I do on my channel, like gardening, cooking for 2 people, and meal prep. So I hope to see you over here after you're finished watching Carrie's video.
I will have this recipe linked down below. I've given this a little bit of time to have the yeast activate. I am adding in the rest of the ingredients, and this is a really weird recipe. This recipe said that you just bake with it. It also has baking powder in it. It says no time to like let it rise or anything, which makes me a little bit hesitant, makes me question what's going on here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this mix for the 7 minutes that it says to, and then once it's done, I'm going to switch and make the English muffin dough, and then I'm going to let this rest while I'm making the English muffin dough. And that should give it just a little bit of time, maybe 10 minutes or so, which is better than no time, I think. So that way I'll kind of meet them in the middle. It just seems weird that it's not going to have time to rise, but maybe that's not weird because there is baking powder in here. So let me get this turned on, and then something really cool about this mixer, if you haven't seen it, this is my Zacme mixer. It's way cheaper than a KitchenAid, and it works way better than my KitchenAid that I have. So I like to use this one, but I'm just going to set the timer and it'll turn itself off for me in 7 minutes. The timer just went off on this dough. You might be able to hear the fan a little bit. That fan keeps it from overheating, and it works so well. So I'm going to take this dough off, and I'm just going to set it behind me on the mat because I'm going to be using it right away. And this dough turned out beautiful. So I do just want to kind of get it into a ball. So I'm actually going to use this way back here, if you can even see me. So I am going to just do a little spray over the top of it just to keep it from drying out. I actually think I probably could have put a lot less in there, a lot less of the flour, I should say. So here's the English muffin dough. This one needs to rise, that one just needs to rest. So let's put in some milk. I just used powdered milk here. Also going to put in some yeast and we'll get that activating. Then we'll add in the rest of the ingredients. This one will also be down in the description box. I just added salt and sugar. I realized I had them together, so I couldn't just put some sugar in there, but we're gonna let it sit for a few minutes and we'll be back. We've given the yeast a few minutes to proof. I need to add in the egg, the butter, and the flour. So we've got 4.5 cups, so let's do 1, 2, 3, that's a little more than 3. That's a little less than 4, and then here's our half. I need to let this mix until it's all combined, and then I need to mix it for 5 minutes, and we'll let it sit for 2 hours, and in the meantime, we will do all of our other hand pies. Isn't that so cool? That was on a 3, and a 3, let's see, which way do I go? Off, that way. 3 is pretty high for a dough. They said to mix it at a higher setting. So I did. My KitchenAid never would have done that. All right, I am going to get this one off as well, and I'm going to let this one rise just in this bowl. I did start to get out all the stuff to make the filling for the pizzas. So let me see. How do I want to take the bowl off first? All right, let me bring this into a ball. This one's a lot softer of a dough, which is great. Now don't let me forget the cornmeal when we go to make the English muffins. I think this too though also, I mean it's softer, but it probably could have used less flour too. I am going to get this covered, and something about me is I do not like covering with a towel. I find that everything dries out with a towel, even if I'm using a damp towel. So I'm going to use, what is this? Saran wrap. I was going to call it foil. I'm an itch. And something really cool about this bowl is saran wrap sticks to it, unlike the KitchenAid bowl. This is not an ad, but I just really love this mixer. I've now used it quite a few times, and every single time I use it, I'm very impressed with it. And if you haven't seen my video where I reacted to it for the first time, didn't know if I was going to love it or hate it, definitely go check it out. It's a good one, but I can tell you, I freaking love this thing. Now, I am having my coffee maker make some hot water. I'm going to put this and the hot water in my microwave so it'll proof, but in the meantime, let's get started over here. I have a small jar of tomato paste, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. I also want to add some spices. So this is going to be our filling for the pizza. The spices that I'm adding, it's garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasonings. And I didn't think this through enough, and I don't know if I have enough cheese, but I'm gonna make it work. So let's mix this up, and then I'm going to add everything into this bowl so that I have like one paste to put in instead of trying to put each individual thing into every single one of these. And I also want this to be a little bit on the thicker side because I don't want it to just be oozing out. So let's add in olives. Olives are a must for me with pizzas. Did you see that? What the heck? I've never had that happen before. What? It's a ghost. Okay, there's that. Let's add this in. I'm trying to add in the order of getting things thrown away. There's the water. Okay. The reason I'm putting this in the microwave with hot water is just because it keeps a warm climate and it makes it so it'll rise a little bit faster. Whoop. A little heavy for there. Just like that. So now I need to cut this up. I'm going to keep this to the side, just a little bit of water in there, just in case. And I'm looking for just a small plastic cutting board that I can just throw right into the dishwasher. I'm also looking for a knife that probably isn't the best knife for this, but I can also throw it in the dishwasher. We're going for simple. I'm going to cut these into quarters because I think that'd be better for these little tiny hand pies. Is there like an oxygen absorber thing in there? No. go. And let's give it a mix. Thinking this might end up being a little too dry, so I might need to add some of that water to the paste. Maybe. It needs more cheese. I'm out of cheese though. I have a different kind of cheese. I might do that. Or just call it good. Add a little of the water. I have a little bit of Colby Jack, so I'm going to add that because it's the closest that I have to mozzarella and it'll be just fine. I did make sure to buy the pepperoni, but I usually have tons of cheese on hand, and right now I'm actually quite low on cheese, so I need to stock up. Trying to figure out if I think this is too dry. I know that the cheese will melt and cause it to be not as dry, so I think I'm gonna go with that. Let's bring over our dough, and I need to grab something to cut it with. Okay, let's see here. I don't know how many this makes. So it said 3 pizzas, but it seems like this would be 3 small pizzas. So let's see. I'm also going to use this thing. I like this thing. So if I, let me see about half of that. How would half of that go? All right, that fits good enough. I'm going to add a little bit of the filling mixture. I don't want to add too much. That might be too much. Probably is. Let's close it. I used to make hand pies, empanadas, whatever you want to call them, all the time. Ooh. I haven't made them in quite a while though. That didn't come up enough. This didn't actually stick to itself, so that's a little interesting. Let me grab a fork. Maybe it was too much oil. I need something to put them on. I should have thought about that before this. All right, here's one. I do need to remember to put little slits in them, but that actually worked out. So let's see. I do think I could have used a lot less flour. Oops. This is not my usual dough. This is a dough that I have tried once before and it was okay-ish. I'm also substituting a few things. My usual dough works beautifully though, so I probably should have used that, but I thought I'd give these a try. This one almost has too much dough. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, way too much dough. This is so nice though, because when there's too much dough, you can just like peel it off like that. That one worked much better. Okay. Get it out of here. Beautiful. I got them all rolled out, so I did my 8, and then I had a little bit of extra dough, so I made a 9th, which actually turns out perfectly because this recipe said it made 3 pizzas. So this would be that each one of these is about 1/3 of a pizza, which is about a serving of a pizza. So that was perfect. I have a little bit extra filling, like enough for 1 or 2, and I don't want this to go to waste, so I'm going to freeze it just like this. And if I ever have like bread or something that I want to add this onto, I can just put this on top of bread and then broil it. Oh, I got that all messy. All right, to the freezer this goes. And then I got out the spices again. I put them away, but I needed them. I'm going to add some olive oil into here. That way I can top them all with olive oil before I put them in the freezer. I'm going to add the same spices that we did to the inside. So that's Italian seasoning, garlic powder, and onion powder. Mix it together. And I'm going to mix this over the top of all of them. This needs a little bit more oil, I think. Okay, we did it. I just need to get this down here. Each one of these needs some vent holes. You guys even see this? I don't even know if you can, but I think I'm just gonna put 2 vent holes in each. Last but not least. So I'm going to put this in my air fryer on the pizza setting. I never know any settings on the Instant Pot or the air fryer about minutes and time. I just hit the thing that looks like what I'm cooking. So pizza setting it is, and here we go. Those are going in the freezer. Okay, the pizzas are now flash freezing, and then I have this pie crust. I made this, I don't know, what was I making? I was making something. Oh, I was making a quiche, so I made an extra pie crust. I am terrible at making pie crust. I've watched all the instructions on how to do it, and I suck at it. It just is what it is. It's fine. I'm gonna see if this even rolls out. Hopefully it's not too frozen still. It might be too frozen still. I got it rolled out. That was a success. It actually is like the best one I've had rolled out, and so I took my time. I went slow. That's not something I'm very good at, but we did it. I think I want to make 6 of these, so I am going to cut this right in half this direction, and I'm definitely going to kind of be winging it here. All right, so here's my thought. I have apple jelly. This is apple juice that's turned into jelly, and I want to use this, but I don't just want apple juice flavored because I feel like that would be not that fantastic. And I thought, okay, well, you need to add brown sugar and cinnamon. You know, I'm gonna keep that out just in case. So brown sugar and cinnamon is great, but apple jelly already has a lot of sugar. So I figured, well, how do you make brown sugar? You use molasses and you use sugar. So I'm going to take the smallest bit of molasses and put it on each of these and then spread that out. And I'm hoping this will give me that brown sugar flavor. This could be the worst idea I've ever had, but it also might not be. So just a teeny tiny bit here. Okay, I'm now going to add the apple jelly, and I don't know how much I need. Probably not that much. Wow, that was the first time I just tried the apple jelly. That's fantastic. I've been missing out. I'm going to add some cinnamon. I guess it wasn't the first time I tried it all together. I did make the apple couronne with it, but it's the first time that I tried it just by itself. So I'm gonna grab a fork so I can press them. And now we need to figure out which way we're going. So I think I'm gonna go this direction. Should probably get them wet, but that's okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Pie crust and I, we are not friends, you guys. Let's do a little surgery there. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Okay, let's see. Hopefully these end up tasting delicious. I struggle with pie crust. So I think this is all going to come out the bottom. Ah. Can we say this was an experiment? Maybe a failed one at that? Goodness. I think I might have to bake these and then freeze them baked because there's no way. No way at all. Put some holes in it, not that it needed more holes. Are you kidding me? Look at that. That looks so good. I need to finish these before I get started on this though. So I'm gonna let it cool. I think I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit and do that instead of getting out another brush. And let's see, a little bit of sugar. I do want to wait for the oven to preheat, so I'm going to set this here and I'll stick it in as soon as the oven's ready. And in the meantime, I'm going to clean up my mess and then we will get to tasting. All right, let's see. Let's cut this guy open. See how that did for the air fryer, cooking it from completely. Ooh, that looks good. Look at that. We basically got a little baby calzone. That's super cute. Oh, and it's got the little like grates from the air fryer there. That filling is delicious. The bread is like okay. I think I would have preferred to use my regular bread because I just love it. But this, huge win, love them. All right, last up is the experiment. I'm super excited for this to see how it goes. I do still have the hand pies in the oven, the apple ones. So what I've done here is I have 7 breakfast sausages cooking up. I'm also going to add 7 eggs, and the reason I chose 7 is because that's how many cheeses I have. So I'm going to get these eggs cracking over here. I don't want them to spread too much, so hopefully it's hot enough. Oh yeah, we're good. Oops. Well, that one made a mess. This one might too. Let's see. I think I'll just let them run together. Oh no. Stay up there. That egg's a goner. I am going to pop the yolks because I love the yolks being there, but this isn't working so well. Oh gosh. That's gonna be a pain to clean. That one, I shouldn't have done those two. Okay, salt and pepper. Oh, that was way too much salt for that. We'll do it this way. I think I'm going to combine these two and make that just be one egg. That could have used a little longer. But this one's good. Oh no. right, we have all of the fillings ready to go. I'm going to let them cool off just a bit. I'm going to clean this up because we need to use the griddle to make the English muffins. So give everything a reset. All right, these have cooled down a little bit. Here's our dough. It has risen so much. It's beautiful. I need to divide the dough. I want to make, I think, gosh, I don't know how many this is supposed to make. I should have looked at that. Same as before. But I'm thinking, I know that I want to do, I think I'm just gonna do 8. I want to do 7, but then I can always just make one of these just a regular old English muffin. Although, is this gonna be too big? I think that'll be good. The hand pies that are sweet came out of the oven. They kind of fell apart, but I have them cooling off there. Let's see here, can I squish this down? Might grab this to squish it a little bit more. Not the typical way of doing an English muffin. Move these. Okay, so I've got that pretty well out. Here's what I'm thinking. I'll do the piece of cheese, and then an egg, and then the sausage, and then, you guys, I'm loving that. Okay, so maybe I don't need to go out as far next time. Let's pinch it all together. I really hope this works out as well as I'm hoping it does. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a bunch of cornmeal on this tray. This is what I'm going to set them on. And I'm going to let them kind of rise a little bit just while I make them all. And then I'll cook them. The griddle is back on the other side of the counter. There we go. You guys, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. Like, what if I fold it? Would that work better? Doing it like a little present? I might like that even better. Huh. Okay, that was good. Yep. Okay, even better, folding it like a present. We are almost there. These are looking so good. I've got 7 stuffed and 1 just regular old English muffin. Kind of funny, I'm making 1 English muffin. I'm going to pull these a little closer. I've burned myself on this before, so I want to be really careful to not do that. And let's see, I am going to just set them on here and let them cook for a while. Put that one down next. Now, the way that you make English muffins is you cook them on the griddle, then you flip them, and then you put them in the oven. So I did just get our oven turned back on. I'm just pinching these back together. So I'm going to let them cook for a good while per side. The bottom has more dough because remember we folded all that dough on top of itself. So the bottom We'll probably need a little bit more time, but that's also why we're going to be putting it in the oven. I can definitely tell the ones that I did first have had longer to sit, which probably was preferred, but the other one sat for a tiny bit, so we should be okay. I'm going to leave this cornmeal on here because once they're off of here, I'll put them back onto here and then they'll go into the oven and then we will be wrapping it up. We are almost done. Alrighty, we have our jelly hand pies. These are, okay, not my best work, but they are delicious. We have our uncooked pizza pockets and we have our English muffin. So I'm real interested to cut this English muffin open and see how it is. Now I'm not hungry at all, but I figure we have to cut this open, right? How do we think it's gonna turn out? I'm hoping it's fantastic. I just got a sneak peek. You guys, look at that. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, let me show you. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Look at that. That is so fantastic. All right, now we have to do a little bit of a taste test here, right? Even though I'm not hungry, I'm still going to do it for science, right? Oh my gosh. This is perfect. I did buy the store-bought patties instead of making my own just because I wanted that signature patty flavor. And I gotta say, this is a huge success. I might just do that way more often because I make these types of things all the time, but it's like one at a time on English muffins. Like this is the regular English muffin because there's nothing in this one. But I think this is my new preferred way and now I want to eat all of that. Anyways, make sure to go on over to Sarah's channel, check out what she's making. It all looks fantastic. I know you'll enjoy it. And thank you so much for being here. If you haven't yet, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.